Okay, so we are starting early as a gift to everybody for sticking with the program and making it to winning season. So, have any of you won yet? I said in the description, dress in your royal regalia because we are royalty for getting everything done. I'm picturing a palace with a large banquet room. So, it looks like a couple of you have won. I kind of won. I knocked myself down to 10K words, and then in one night of rabid writing, I actually won, and it was really exciting. But okay, so I'm trying to keep my voice low because I think I have a tendency to be really loud when I'm excited, and people are trying to get work done downstairs. Pajamas do count as regalia, especially, props if they're silk or Egyptian cotton. But seriously, you are royalty and you deserve to wear whatever you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable. So, we will have a contest later in the show, but you have to wait. You have to wait because I'm going to give a code word. And when you email me, you have to give me the code word so I know that you've actually been a loyal viewer and have, been here. But I don't know if there's any newcomers. I recognize a lot of you. I'm super excited to see you here again. And today is our last virtual write-in of this camp session. I'm probably going to tear up at some point, but this is where we get together to give each other morale, to throw out some prompts that might work with you, but really it's freestyle. It's wherever inspiration strikes. You can give a prompt at any time and people can leap on the chat and go to your zone. It doesn't have to be what I provide you. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I would love to see you again if I can. The theme is victory feast for this show. So please, I implore you, get a snack because the first virtual write-in, everybody was piling on me for making them hungry. I feel like I've given you guys a lot of notice. But also, I forgot to mention word sprints. So, I think it would be okay if you just use the word count here, split it in your project, verify it, and get all your winner goodies. And you can do that by participating in word sprints, which are timed writing exercises where we try to maximize all our writerly potential in a short amount of time. And I believe in you. We can do it. So, we will have a warm-up prompt and also a project prompt. So in the first show, I tried to accommodate nonfiction writers or people who might not be writing a novel that is remotely fantasy-esque, since our overarching theme has been world building. And it also is a time for you to really center yourself and reflect and consider what has worked for your project, what hasn't worked for your project, and where you want to go from here. So our first warm-up prompt is the bossiest of bosses. What is it and how does your character defeat it? And it could be an actual character, an antagonist or an arch nemesis, or it can just be any other obstacle, be it psychological within the character themselves, be it environmental, maybe an avalanche or other kind of problematic settings that are causing an issue for your character. We also have for your project prompt, what was the biggest boss you faced in your writing journey? So are you in school right now? Is it all the mountains of homework that you've received that have made it difficult for you to work on your own creative endeavors? Are you perpetually tired and a fan of naps? I have a bias toward this. I would like to know what your bosses are so I can help vanquish them for you within reason. So I'm going to give you lucky number 7, 7 minutes for this, starting now. Okay, you have half a minute left. Maybe I should have let that timer noise go on a little longer so you could buy some time. But dazzle me with your word counts. Come on, I'm sure you came up with something. Okay, so we have Super Mommy 811, 183 words. Elizabeth sees more paintings on a smaller scale, but cannot make out the faces. Even with the sunlight shining on the wall, there is nothing there but figures of people without faces. Oof. That's really eerie. It's so interesting how psychologically, when you see the whole human figure, except for the face, when it's all erased, it really gives us that perturbing gut feeling. And I think it's because a face is what we maybe associate with somebody's identity. So I'm wondering also, since this was the prompt about bosses or obstacles, is the character struggling with an identity crisis or literally struggling with these antagonists that are these faceless creatures? It would be really cool to know. Jex 30, what goes on at the bookstore? Oh wait, that's where I've seen you before. You fund the real bookstore with real books. The community funded thing. I've seen the plaque. Props to community funded bookstores. I think they're great. I'm actually picturing a story where you have one of those, conglomerate bookstores that are consuming everything. There's actually this awesome Borders that used to be in my community that is now a golf club store. Super sad and depressing. And his one eye was dark brown, but his other wasn't a real eye at all. It was a glassy eye that didn't really fit in the socket, by Emma Baker. Whew. But, I actually think glass eyes are not very creepy, though I know it's a common trope in horror stories. Is there something that we distrust about an inauthentic eye? I wonder what it is. Pamela Barry. A familiar voice called out, "Come in," from behind the door. Marina pushed it open. The door slammed shut behind her, locking Jack out. Marina tried the door behind her, but the handle had gone. Ooh, I don't like that. If that happened to me. I'm a bit of an escape artist. I like to get out as much as possible. I like to travel. I just like to be active, and the concept of being stuck somewhere and a handle just melting into the ether, that would be a nightmare for me for sure. So we also talked about bosses, like what is conflicting with our writing journeys. And Sarah Relini said school, so stats homework is getting in the way. I totally feel that. Pamela Barry said adminning groups on Facebook, and yes, it is it is quite the Herculean task to get people to behave, but not here. We're really nice to each other here, and we barely need any moderation at all, I think. And so I was laughing because Julia Peterson described herself enthusiastically somersaulting through the window, late to the party, hoisting the nano battle flag above her head. So I'm wondering, guys, do we have factions in Nanoland, or are we all just one happy warrior clan together? And then I asked, did you come up with that? Were you the original person with the dramatic entrances? And Julia said no, they're just a great plagiarizer. And so I just want to remind everybody, the phrase does go, art is stealing, but always remember to do it in a very clever, unique fashion like Julia did, instead of ripping people off. But I know you guys wouldn't do that. At any rate, we were one happy warrior clan together until the Fire Nation attacked. Is that an Avatar The Last Airbender reference? Okay, I'm rambling. But I think we have a little time to ramble, this being our final virtual write-in. Prompt 1, so we just did our warm-up. Your protagonist finally makes it back home. Are they happy to be there? Is everyone else happy to see them? So this is based off of the traditional hero's journey, or the monomyth that is spoken a lot about by, that was embarrassing, spoken a lot by Joseph Campbell, who is sort of like an expert on mythology and talks about common things. At any rate, the hero's journey, when you get to the end, it's the return to your place of origin. And two things usually happen. Either everybody rejoices in all that you've done for them and they throw a huge festival for you or the hero because they have deep gratitude for what you've done. On the other hand, there's the eternally ungrateful crowd who doesn't understand why you did what you did. Maybe they expected the hero to stay in the town for the rest of their lives doing their responsibility. Maybe they were the go-to blacksmith, and then this guy just, closes up shop and leaves to hunt goblins, and people are mad about that. Maybe they moved on and don't even remember your hero. So percolate about that. And we have the project prompt, which is, what would a wrap-up or victory look like for your work? What did yours accomplish? So when you were starting this, you might have envisioned a victory. Maybe it was, numeric. Maybe it was, I wanted to hit 80K words. Or maybe it was, I want to get some sort of resolution in this plot by the end of camp. And did you meet that goal, or did you accomplish something new entirely? Because I know you guys have accomplished really great feats, even if they weren't what you were planning on in the beginning. So on that note, I will give you 7 minutes for this one as well. Starting now. Oh no, my chat is down on this computer. Maybe switch Wi-Fi connections. Shoot. So the video is loading, but the chat next to it isn't. No, I'll try to. Yeah, I have been refreshing it. I'll try it again. I hope I don't break this table that I'm sitting on. I will check what is going on. Is it working for you? It's not working on the. mean, it says people are still watching it, which is awkward because.
Are you?
Well, now one person is left.
Are you in the middle of the sprint?
Yeah, but it has 12 seconds left. I don't know what to do.
So wait till the sprint ends.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how to interact with you guys right now.
Did you tell them already?
Super sad. Well, I have been flustered and making little comments like I can't see the chat and I have to figure this out.
Hey everyone.
This is their secret plot to get you to come here.
Well, yeah. So like Madeline was saying, for whatever reason, the chat isn't loading up for us. We don't know if it's loading up for you guys. If it's working for you, would you guys maybe, if you have Twitter, if you want to tweet at NaNoWriMo and let us know if the chat's working. But for now,
I'll just move on,
well,
or wait, or
should we vamp?
Probably...
Do we have any special skills we can? Should we put on a Nano HQ talent show?
Oh, no. I can't even juggle. And this is why they tell you to like learn tricks for cocktail parties for when you have a live stream.
Yeah, this is when you bust out your party trick. I don't really have one either.
Oh man.
Okay, so
should I read them in ode? What should we
do? Let me see.
We are on it. We are sleuths.
We are on it. I'll be right back.
Okay. If you guys want to email me also and let me know what's going on your end, my email address is Madeline, MADELEINE _Flamiano, FLAMIANO @gmail.com. So it's basically my first name _ my last name @gmail.com. I'm not sure what to do. I thought we were going to have a glorious, uninterrupted virtual write-in.
Okay.
What happened?
So...
Do we restart?
No, it doesn't seem like it's a problem on our end.
Okay.
Thanks to everyone who's already tweeted in. Got a ton of tweets. We got a bunch of tweets. We got some tweets from Rosanna and Nana Lanta and Arwa and Morgan and Monica. Some of you guys can still see us and the chat, but some of you can't. So it's a real mystery, guys. But yeah, I mean, why don't we just keep going with the prompts?
Sure.
And then if you do have Twitter, that's awesome. Like maybe tweet us like your word counts and sentences and stuff, and we'll check there. Yeah. And then while this next prompt is happening, I'll try to see if I can find like a different chat place we can set up at, and maybe if you guys want to go over there, we can chat and still do the live stream.
That would be fun.
It'll kind of work.
Nano improv.
And I'm totally sitting on Blobby right now, which I'm so sorry. All right.
Oh, the long-suffering Blobby. Okay, so our third prompt is the sweet taste of victory. What's tastier, the meal or the memories? So this is the theme of us having this banquet. Considering you have a victory feast, it could be alone because the townspeople aren't feeling what you've done, or it could be that your character zoned out, isn't really involved mentally with the feast, and is so excited by everything that they've accomplished during their journey. And your project prompt is there more to be done on your project? What is it? So have you tied up all your loose knots, or do you want to weave more into your story? And I will give 5 minutes for this one. sign in. Oh. Log in. Do we need to make an account for this? Can you put that on Twitter? Okay. Okay, so Tim is setting up a chat for us so we can actually interact with each other.
So I'm going to tweet it out from the main NaNoWriMo account right now. That's at NaNoWriMo on Twitter. If you haven't, check that out. We've never used this before, so
No.
hopefully it works okay.
It's an adventure.
Yeah, it is an adventure.
We're having a close-off adventure, a send-off adventure. And honestly, this, you know what? This is blowing up like a Viking send-off feast.
Ooh.
You know, when they throw off the flaming arrows on the barge.
All right, tweeting it now. You should see it.
Please come. Please come, most loyal writers.
Did it work for you? Okay, you're
I'm here.
Sweet.
Madeline.
Okay, I'm there as NaNoHQ, pretending like my name isn't actually Tim. But we'll see. If it's confusing, also let us know on Twitter.
Do you want me to put it in the chat description?
Yeah, that'd be great. Guess we'll see. Hey, people are showing up.
Can you do me a solid and sign in to the office?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You guys are awesome!
Yay! Thanks for being patient with us.
Oh.
Woo! It's a chat room. Doesn't this chat room though like hardcore remind you of being? I'm gonna date myself.
IRC days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or even
original.
like AOL group chats. And
yeah,
stuff.
that's how I started. My writing journey was role playing in an AOL chat room, and it said games, and I thought it was board games, like we talk about Scrabble or something. Yeah. And everybody's role playing, and I'm like, what is going on?
Oh,
and then I just made a character on the sly, and it's kind of like a klepto and put everything in her backpack. That was the very grand start to my writing journey.
I love it. I remember one of the earlier chat rooms I was ever in was a chat room about the movie Titanic.
What? Hint me. What did you guys talk about?
Titanic, obviously. There was someone in that chat room who claimed to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Because that's what he does in his spare time.
This was back in the day when that seemed more possible than maybe it does now.
Okay, I'm putting the chat.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Pretty sure, like there's a percentage of a chance. Okay, so chat room link is going to be at the very, very top for your guys' convenience, since everything else has been, sadly, as inconvenient as possible.
Yeah. Creative Rose says, I have not been in a chat room in years.
Oh, did I skip prompt 2?
Oh,
I thought we were just finishing up prompt 1. But, you're right. And this was the best part, arguably. Prompt 2, rewinding. Is there a behemoth banquet waiting for your protagonist, or a quiet, low-budget affair, like that sad grilled cheese sandwich I talked about?
Wait, are we going to start right now, or should we ask people to share word counts and sentences?
Yeah, it would be so wrong to cheat you at that moment. So whatever you have written in this very hectic time, let us know, and we'll talk about it. Yeah,
we want to know what you guys wrote for prompt 3.
I'm glad they're working for you, Kuona.
If it was helpful. And if you want to share a sentence, that would be awesome. We know some of you guys are still kind of working your way into that chat. Thank you again so much. Ooh, here we go. Sarah Raylini wrote, "You did amazing tonight, even better than practice yesterday. Thanks, you did amazing too. Do you know what my favorite part was?" he asked. "What?" "The last scene." "And why is that?" I asked as my face began to heat up. Whoa!
Oh my goodness!
Was the last scene saucy as heck?
Somebody had a crush on someone and was just like waiting for that play for like maybe that, generic kiss that's in the play, but they were like inserting themselves in that actor's role, just stewing in their seat like, why can't I be that person?
I love it.
Here's Becca. Whoa, wait. Julia, I'll get to you, Becca, but I just saw waxy dead bodies and I have to. All I can imagine is waxy dead bodies moving up and down the fields with the mechanical gait of a patient that I saw leaving my infirmary when the professor took him with her.
Whoa. What's happening?
I don't know.
Are they grave robbers? No. Are they?
Oh.
They're no.
Like
they're
Repo
waxy.
the Genetic Opera,
Maybe.
and they're like repurposing bodies.
Mm-hmm. Did you talk to me about Repo the Genetic Opera?
No, we talked about
recently?
Repo Men. There's a difference. Okay, back to Becca. We reached for each other's hands and stood there like that for several minutes, basking in our newness. The air in the attic was lighter, no longer musty. Finally, we reached for our clothes. Oh my goodness. Tim, do you want to finish it?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're dressing. They're not undressing.
Oh. I think I was, vibing off of the theme of the last one. I thought it was infectious.
Helped each other dress tenderly. I kneeled before Joseph and slipped on each of his shoes. He smoothed my wrinkled t-shirt as if I were a small child. Hand in hand again, we walked down the stairwell, somehow lighter now, too, and out the door into the synagogue vestibule. I thought that's really beautifully written. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, hi everyone. If you don't know me, I'm Tim. I'm here too now. And people are saying that actually I chose Chatsy because it seemed like you didn't have to make an account to come in, but apparently if there's more than 10 people in the room, you do have to make an account.
Oh, wow, this is just more and more singing praises for our Nano family because they were working so hard to be with each other despite all these trials and tribulations. And that's part of life, and writing is like that. You have, unforeseen consequences that you have to deal with and somehow work around it. And I think that is just a spirit of Nano that we keep trucking on despite the brambles and the thorny bushes and all of that.
Thank you guys so much for doing that. I'll try to figure out if maybe there's another easier one. But
this chat is pretty nice though because we can actually see a lot more of your prompts.
That's true.
The YouTube one moved so rapidly that a prompt would just disappear into the ether before we could recover it. So
that's true.
So this has something going for it as long as you guys continue to have the patience to make and count. And I'm sorry that we're putting you through that.
And obviously we won't.
This isn't like a long-standing thing.
Yeah.
Unless you guys, rally around it and
You're
demand
just in love with Chatsy, loving that 90s internet nostalgia feel.
Hey, well, Kathy says it's way easier than the YouTube chat.
Oh, good.
Also, it won't expire, right? Like the YouTube one won't expire.
YouTube one does expire.
Easier to create chat logs maybe too. Or we could think about a chat room that does have a chat log. So we can make an anthology of virtual writing prompt responses. It's something to think about.
Yeah, totally. We'll definitely think about it.
That's like Tim's go-to phrase for me is
let's think about it. Well, I feel like, you think about it and then you decide whether that was just a spur of the moment.
No character limit.
No character limit? That's awesome. Yeah.
For writers.
Jex30 was saying that they like this chat, but that maybe after 3 days you have to pay for it. So another reason to maybe not stick with Chatsy. But in the meantime,
it was nice while it lasted. Prompt 2. Thank you, Chitzel, for letting me know that I skipped over this. Again, is there a behemoth banquet waiting for your protagonist, or a quiet, low-budget affair? Or our project prompt, is there more to be done on your project? What is it? So are you going to jump to a new novel the next camp season that comes around? Or is there more that you wanted to get out of this one? And I will give you 5 minutes starting now. It's getting kind of cramped on that. Okay. Okay, you have a minute left. All right, guys. Word count time.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Schnitzel was bringing up that they feel like they've lost their writing voice that they've managed to build up, which is a common problem. But I think instead of being afraid of it or disappointed that this new writing voice has emerged, that you can actually pursue it and maybe ask it questions. I interview my characters a lot when I write because I want to get to know them. So why do you think this new voice has come up, and can you expand it? Can you bring it somewhere? It could be a new direction, it could be a new story, but just don't beat yourself up over that something new has been born. I would celebrate that. I know.
Just like double thumbs up. Sorry, I'm like totally distracted.
We've had so many technical.
Is there another chat place we can go to?
He's really just trying to contemplate like what's the best for everybody.
If you guys are watching and you weren't able to make it into the chat room that we linked to, after the initial 10 people, it does make you create an account to sign up, but I just did that, and it seems like it's just kind of like you put in an email address and then they send you a password. So it seemed like low-key-ish.
Yeah.
And free, but still kind of annoying. I get it if you can't.
It's just hard, this would have been perfect for the theme like a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the hero's obstacles and challenges, but I was trying to like alleviate everybody's stress and just have a chill, party sesh, and that it's not working out the way I planned.
But the good thing is you guys are still writing, and you're still writing some awesome stuff. So should we just check it out?
Yeah.
All right. So Pine Tree wrote 274 words, which is freaking awesome. Wrote, a chair grated against the floor, sliding itself out. Dipper remained standing, simply looking around the room. It looked different than the last time he had been here, but things were always changing in the mindscape. No room could be expected to be the same at any point in time. There were paintings covering the walls this time from top to bottom. There was no room for anything else to be hung. Sit, Pine Tree, Bill said plainly, straightening his bow tie. Dipper's eyes darted to him, to his slender figure. The way his bony hands looked as though they'd break the fabric of the bow tie with the way he was clenching it. Was he nervous? Dipper felt a smile spread across his own face, and he finally sat down. If this is Gravity Falls fanfic, I'm obsessed.
I'm lost in that pop culture reference, but I liked it anyway, even though I don't know the reference. I liked what was it? The bony hands looked as though they'd break the fabric of the bow tie. Like really get the sense that the person is so slender that their bones are sharp and slicing through material.
Totally.
I really like that. I had one. Let's see. This is Kawana Wolf, 96 words, under 100 club.
Nice.
That isn't to be condescending, by the way. Like there's a genre called flash. What is it? Flash stories, flash fiction, where you write pretty much under 100. So Kawana wrote, Sierra's hands were on her hips. Their lips were inches apart. The stars were aligning, and yet for some reason she couldn't breathe. Sorry.
Did it scroll up?
It's scrolling. I will get to it. Oh, guys. I'm gonna get to it because I have keywords. Okay, so she couldn't. I'm gonna cry. Yes, I will read it. Okay. She couldn't breathe. All around them, the other guests swayed and sighed like pine branches from a summer tree. I'm going to copy and paste these next time. Clearly. Always keeping me on my toes about what I need to do. Okay. I must be dreaming, she thought.
Okay, I got it. She thought.
Is it right here? I must be dreaming, she thought. Her vision tunneled. Her fingers shook. She blinked, and the tranquil.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's happening here.
Okay, I'm just gonna say what I really liked about that prompt. There is a description that Kawana Wolf has where they describe a too tight throat, and that never occurred to me. Everybody knows that sensation of screaming until your breath is ragged and you feel like you're very raspy, and there is that constrained feeling. And something as concise and pithy as too tight throat, which nice alliteration and consonants, by the way, just is a really visceral feeling. And that is a keyword I searched when I was looking for your prompt response was too tight throat. I really liked that.
That's awesome. So also Pamela said that she might do a post-camp prompt party.
Ooh!
So if you guys are on Twitter, keep an eye out for her hashtag CN prompt party on there. And let's see, should we read one more maybe?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to read this one from Rebecca Sparks. She wrote 203 words. Said, even if it meant the pain hung around, digging into her heart with its vicious, unrelenting talons, she would keep hold of it because this pain was how she needed to say goodbye.
Wow.
It's intense.
We have a grim farewell party going on here. I like that, though.
Awesome.
Unrelenting talons. So are they very long, or is it just a really tight vice grip?
Or are they theoretical talons?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you want to move on to the next prompt?
Let's do it.
Okay. One prompt that I think we didn't catch was a project prompt from prompt 3, which was, which did you enjoy more, writing your work as a whole, or letting the last sentence sink in? And then we have prompt 4. We have a lot of options here. We've got everything's digested and the food coma's over. What's next on the agenda? Or project prompt, what else is waiting to be explored during your writing journey? So is there an entirely new genre you want to write?
Ooh.
Do you want to pick up poetry?
That's exciting.
Yeah. If you only write in first person, do you want to try second person? What is calling out to you? And then we have our writer submission from Cordelia Smith. Have one of your characters do something spontaneous. Whether it's a good or bad decision, it needs to be such a random one that it shocks those around the character.
Ooh.
So you got a lot to pick from, a grab bag.
Loving
prompts.
it. You know what I was thinking about when you were talking about like exploring your writing journey?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys? I don't know if you guys watch Lemonade by Beyonce.
Yes.
but apparently some person is writing fanfic based off of that album about Jay-Z's reaction to that video.
Oh my.
And it's the all-time best.
Please, the
And my next project might also be Lemonade fanfiction. All right, so we're gonna do this last prompt.
And then we're going to talk about the contest, sad face. The power is going out in that computer. We're going to talk about the contest after this. I thought I plugged it in.
Oh.
That can't be the problem, could it? No.
Well, why don't you start them on the spring, and then I'll plug this in.
Oh, right. I didn't give you guys a time. Indefinite time. Traveling through time and space. 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have 20 seconds. Ah. All right. So I think I'm going to take this time to talk about the contest while you
Awesome.
maybe mine awesome responses.
Great. Yeah. Let us know your
Okay.
word counts and sentences.
So I got to do the not great at throwing, but hopefully I don't knock the webcam off. I choose all of you. I made it. So in honor of all of your hard work writing, I decided we're going to have a giveaway contest, and it's super easy, and you made it this far, and you should be copiously awarded for it. So this is the code word I've been talking about, and it's Bulbasaur.
Love it.
Bulbasaur. And sorry to alienate you who don't know Pokemon, I have a workaround for this because some people have said they don't know much about Pokemon. So basically what the contest is you send me any work. It could be a poem, it could be a vignette. There's no word count requirement. Somehow putting together references of NaNoWriMo and Pokemon. And it doesn't have to be accurate. I'm not going to have a rubric where I grade you and say, that doesn't sound like professional Pokemon knowledge.
Not fact-checking
I'm not going to fact-check Pokemon. Yeah, and then what you will win is a $10 Amazon gift card where you can buy books to inspire you or writing supplies. And so if you don't know about Pokemon, here is a compromise. Somewhere in your work, you can write, I choose you, which is the iconic Pokemon phrase. Okay. And, but I hope to see like a crossover fiction, but that won't impact your chances of winning. It will be completely randomized. Just write Bulbasaur in the subject line, and you can misspell it. I don't care. And we'll get to business there.
Love it.
So there you go.
Sweet. Let's see. You guys are going and putting some awesome excerpts in the chat. And first of all, congratulations to Anna, who wrote her last sentence.
Woo! Like just right now?
Yeah.
And it was just talking about it.
Yeah. Which is so cool. And I think she shared her last sentence. Let's see if we can find it again.
So if you just do find and then Anna.
Got it.
That would be okay.
Oh, no, I lost it again.
Anna. I promised to burn the world down, and the devil's sister kept to her word. So as a main character, the devil, was it kind of like Paradise Lost?
Ooh.
Yeah. Was it a sympathetic telling, or is it just, an arsonist's fantasy type of deal?
Real quick, going back to the contest, people want to know the email address they should send it to.
I'll type it right here, but it's Madeline_Flamiano@nanowrimo.org. Nice. There you go. So Becca said, writing as a whole, my story changed from a fictionalized travel memoir to a weird retelling of Czech folklore.
Ooh.
Which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
To read another selection, Philip Hung wrote, I sighed and worked at the rope in my hands, fiddling with the strands of cord between my fingers. My eyes ached and my back burned from the harsh beatings that I had unjustly received from the captain. All that I knew was pain. Beside me, Joshua rubbed at his eye and yawned slowly, resting his tired head on my shoulder. I smirked and patted his back gently. Are you all right? He didn't answer as he bit off a chunk of apple that he had pulled from his pocket. I caught his yawn and began to fiddle with the rope again. No, Joshua hung his head low and slowly drifted to sleep on my shoulder. We sat in the main mast, and I grabbed his waist as his limp body slipped from the bar. Joshua! I tugged at his shirt, but he continued to fall. The ship dipped dangerously downwards, and I kept my knuckles gripped on his belt. It was then that I realized he had passed out. I watched the blood run down his back as he moaned slowly. Without a word, he fell from my hands into the sea. I dove after him into the water. Crazy.
Aren't you hoping that he manages to capture him and pull him back?
Yeah.
They just seem like they have a really strong connection, and I'm hoping this is like one of those false cliffhanger moments in the beginning of the story where they just make your heart stop and then all turns out well.
Yeah.
Yeah. On a lighter note, that picking the apple out of the pocket reminded me of Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's just always randomly, taking out an apple. It also happens in 300 where they're wearing nothing, but and then they...
Like someone pulls a piece of fruit out from their loincloth.
Yeah, I mean that's the only region I could imagine they're pulling it from. Kelowna Wolf said, "What's next? Mass murder." So, like we were saying, it's sounding more and more like we're not going to have a Nano's Got Talent, but a Nano character kill off. They're just all really good at assassinating people. And I was talking to my friend Cordelia about this, and we were like, man, that was weird in the last virtual write-in. Like everybody wanted to kill off all their characters. And then Cordelia told me about a last virtual write-in where Blobby had a chainsaw. It was just funny. And I was like, how arms-wise does that work? But we explained this as writers have such gentle souls that they sublimate any other anger into stories. Because everybody has their angry moments, but writers, they just channel it into their writing because otherwise they're very sweet. We're a very supportive community.
I do think though that like death is a really good way to shake things up. You know what I mean? And like it is. I mean,
but if heads are rolling all over the place and everybody's dead, like one time I was in a game and I was really bored, so I killed off all the NPCs. And there was nothing to do after that. So like kill in moderation, right?
Oh, it's so boring here. I already killed everyone. All right. So Morgan wrote, Colette nodded. Feeling brave, she grabbed his hand and laced her fingers through his. Rowan looked down at their interlocked hands and back up at Colette's face. She flashed him a short smile and then continued looking down at the floor. Rowan laid his other hand over their joined hand, stroking Colette's arm. At least when we die, we'll die standing together. Super romantic. Still a lot of death.
When the chat dies, we'll all be together. Super sad.
Oh, man. All right, cool.
I have one more.
Awesome.
Dorel Elahan. Devinar ruffled his hair and stared at the swirling portal until Denia closed it. You know what, sister? He said. You're kind of amazing. Denia laughed. Really? You think so? And I just love portals. I love the game Portal. I'm a little worried that this is the rift between brother and sister, and one's gonna have to go in the portal, and
forever.
this
and be on opposite sides.
Yeah.
Like in
Would they still be brother and sister after that? What do you think? Would that connection still be there, or if they're in an entirely different world, does that familial connection no longer apply?
I feel like it's probably still there.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to end off talking about family. Veer slightly away from all the, wanton death.
I mean, NaNoWriMo has a culture around the traveling shovel of death. Haven't you heard of that?
The traveling shovel of death? Yeah. No, but I can see how this would be iconic for this community.
If you're stuck, or if, things just need, like I said, to be shaken up a little bit, you introduce the traveling shovel of death.
Why don't we have a shovel in headquarters?
We do. It's locked up.
Oh.
Well, and then you kill off a character with a traveling shovel of death.
As you do.
Yeah.
As you do. Why is it traveling?
Because it travels from
pass off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that handy shovel.
Yeah. Some of Morgan used it to kill off 2 characters, dying together.
We should tally off or do a statistic, like how many characters are there living versus dead by the end of camp season.
I like it. Awesome. Well, thanks so much again. Don't forget about that contest.
Yeah.
Are there details in the video description?
There are. Well, I wanted to encourage people who are watching, so you had to have gotten to that point for the code
Can
word.
Can you repeat it again really fast?
The code word is Bulbasaur.
You're putting it in the subject line?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In the subject line, and then the challenge is to make some sort of crossover between Pokemon and your current NaNoWriMo project.
Or just have the phrase "I choose you" somewhere in the story. But please do a crossover. It'd just be super fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We're gonna miss you. I can't believe this is the last one.
Thank you for bearing with us.
I mean, it couldn't be the season finale of Camp NaNoWriMo Virtual Write-Ins without some sort of
issue,
conflict.
Epic conflict.
Yeah.
Maybe I should rename, just full disclosure. It should be like full disclosure. The theme is now epic conflict instead of victory feast.
We hope you enjoyed the season finale. What will happen next? Will Madeline be here in July? Will the meteor traveling slowly towards the Berkeley office actually hit? Tune in next time. We will miss you guys so much. If you're close to your word count goal, keep going. And there's still a few days left in Camp NaNoWriMo. And email Madeline. I know she'll love to keep in touch. And at the very least, we will see you all again in July.
Yes. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Oh, you're gonna do the awkward
shut off. Yeah, awkward shut off.